Okay, this year when I plant my garlic, I have taken on a challenge, and I have taken on that challenge from Mike, my dearest husband, who has got an allotment just diagonally opposite, a couple of 100 yards away, and we have decided that we are going to plant exactly the same garlic at exactly the same time, basically in exactly the same location, but we are going to plant it in two different ways. So his method is going to be quite different to mine. We're not going to talk to each other about our methods until afterwards, and what we'll be able to see from that is just which method fares best. But before we get on to that, I'll show you my garlic. One of the great things about planting garlic for the first time is discovering the huge amount of varieties, not just in the colour, not just in the shape, in the size, but in the flavours. I've got 3 here and they are all quite different. I've got the first one is called, it's much smaller than the others, you can see this. This one's called Sprint. And it's called that for a reason, because this, if we plant this now, this should be ready to harvest around about April time. And again, you would have to look at your weather and your location, and you will know when it's ready to pick. I'll talk about that later. But that has got beautiful purple cloves, which we'll look at in a minute. We have got Rose de Lautrec, which is considered to be one of the finest garlics there is. If you can track this down, give this one a go. It's the first year for me doing this one, and I'm really excited about it. This will be ready, this is a mid-season garlic, so this will be ready to harvest in around about July. And we have got the Cador, Violet de Cador, quite a common garlic. We can usually get hold of that somewhere. And this will be ready August time, August onwards. So we have got early, mid, late season garlic, and they also all have different flavours. The Sprint has got quite a hot, pungent flavour. The Rose de Lautrec has got a very strong garlicky flavour, apparently. Again, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's meant to be absolutely beautiful. And then we've got the Cador, which is apparently got an absolutely beautiful, delicate flavour, if you can think about garlic being delicate. So, right, let me show you what the first step is to planting your garlic. Okay, let me just show you the first thing that you need to do with planting your garlic. I'm going to go for the Rose de Lautrec first. And you'll see at the bottom we've got this thing called a base plate. This is where the roots are going to come from. And then we've got this bit here, which is the neck of the garlic. And that's where the scape comes out of. If you are growing hard neck, you will get a hard centre. I'll show you more in a second. And you will get a long stalk coming out called a scape with a beautiful flower on top. Scapes are edible, but usually once we see that, we know it is time to pull the scape out and the garlic is almost ready to harvest. You don't want to leave it because otherwise all the goodness will go to the seeds. But you can see here, I'm breaking that apart quite gently there. And if we have a look, don't worry about taking the paper off that bit. Can you see? You've got the base plate there. And you can see already actually, I mean, I know it's got the paper on, but that's a lovely pink colour. Right, okay, I'm going to pull these apart and we'll come back to them. Okay, so you can see that's the stalk in the middle that will grow out of the plant that ideally you want to get rid of to let all the goodness go back into the cloves. And you can see here, oh, you can see that one is 2 cloves. What we really want are these nice, big, healthy cloves. But what I'll do now is put those together, ideally with a label, so don't forget which one's which, and do exactly the same for the others. Right, let me show you where they're going to go. Okay, I'm going to finish clearing out this bed. This did have the, I could leave those in. Look at that, we've still got gherkins there. Let's put those to one side. We did have the Heritage King Tut peas in here. Yeah, I cleared those out the other day and I'm saving those peas for drying. But what I want to do is I'll only take a few seconds because it's a no dig bed. It's really, really soft and rich because it was only formed last year and it had so much manure and chicken bedding in it that it's actually going to just be perfect for these little garlics. So let me put those over there. I'll go and get a rake and I'll bring you in and show you what I do next. Okay, cheap and cheerful here. As I said, the soil itself is just beautiful. All I've done, I've taken out the weeds. It's so easy when you've got one of these beds just to maintain it. You see a weed coming up and it just goes. So what I'm going to do, you will usually find that people will say, bury your garlic clove 2 to 3 inches to 4 inches even deep. But what I'm going to do, because this is no dig, all I'm going to do is place them very gently on the surface, and I'm going to do the late variety first because I'm going to put that one in the middle. So this is my Cador, and if we just have a look, I've even done the label, so I'm going to put the label there already. Okay, I've got another one in case we have 2 lines. I want to have the cloves about 3 to 4 inches apart. So all I'm going to do, I need to have it about 2 or 3 inches from the edge there, little weed, pull that up as I go. You can see they're just sitting in the soil anyway. 2 to 3 inches apart. I've got my line, don't really need a line. There we go, that's going to give them plenty of room to grow. And the reason I am growing this one in the middle, even though it's the late season one, is because after everything else has been harvested, this can be left alone to get on with things. Oh, Nelly put that one in upside down. Pointy top. Okay, so you can see that they're all sort of standing proud of the soil there. As I say, I'm able to do it because it's lovely, lovely soft soil, but obviously we're not going to leave them like that. Otherwise, Percy Pigeon is going to just come along and just pull them all out. So one last thing I need to do, and perhaps the most important thing before I give it a good dose of water, is cover it in a nice mulch. Okay, so what I've got here is a barrow of really, really well rotted chicken bedding here. It's, oh, look at it, it's just absolutely beautiful. It's actually, we use miscanthus grass for our chicken bedding, which rots down, absolutely beautiful. It's organic, so there's no nasty stuff going in there. We've also got, we might come across, I know a couple went in there, a few apples that have fallen off the tree. Like that one, can you see? A little bit of one there. I'm going to put it in. And we've got a few comfrey leaves in there as well. So what I'm doing here is just putting a good couple of inches on top of these garlic cloves to give them a right warm, snuggly blanket to see them through the winter. Okay, last thing, water. That's my no-dig garlic in. It has got a lovely deep mulch on the top now. It's been really well watered. I will put a few more layers of chicken bedding on top as we go through the winter, just because why not? But yeah, we shall see how they go. But the thing we've got to do now is take Mike, his bulbs over, and see just what he's going to do with his. Right, Mike.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm accepting Jane's challenge of trying to grow this garlic a little bit better than her, and I'm trying it in a way that I've never tried before, which is in pots. What I've tried to do is I've tried to mix up a nice little sort of soil mix here using around about 50% normal garden soil that I've riddled, and I had to do that because we've got, I don't know if you can see this, but we've got bits of bindweed, lots and lots of bindweed in our soil. But when you riddle it, what you get is these things that look like almost like nuggets here, because you've got very, very clay soil here. So I didn't want to be kind of too, I didn't want to be sort of too generous with this stuff, because it's very, very moisture retentive, and garlic likes a free draining soil. So what I've done is I've mixed a mix here which has got around about 25% horticultural sand. It's got around about 25% of our own compost, which we ordered in a few weeks ago, and I've put that into these fabric or felt pots that I was given last year, around about 10 inches deep now, and these pots are around about 12 inches across. So I'm going to start with Sprint. Should be very easy to pull this apart. They're normally not sort of too compacted. As you can see, that just pulls apart relatively easily. No problem there. So how many can I get into this pot of mine? Well, I'm going to have a look now. I think pointy end up, base end down. I think I can get 1, 2, 5, 6. Now I'm going to top this up with my soil mix over here, my top soil mix, which again is kind of nice and light and free draining. I don't have to press them down or damage them because they're just sitting on the soil. That's about right. I might just top up the rest of that with a few leaves and maybe some straw. So I'm going to repeat the same process again, this time with Rose de Lautrec.
Okay, there we go. We have got garlic planted 2 ways. We have got my way, the right way, in the no-dig bed, and we have got Mike's way, the wrong way,
the cheats way,
in the buckets. So what I'd like to know is, how are you going to plant your garlic this year? Are you going to plant it? Are you planting from your own bulbs? Are you planting from saved cloves? Or have you splashed out and treated yourself to some new bulbs like we have? What method do you use? Is it no dig? Is it bucket? Or do you just go straight in the ground? Let us know in the comments below. And if you are not planting garlic, I hope at least that you're going to enjoy watching this challenge as we monitor it going through to harvest time next year. So for now, wish us well, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
You can stop now. There's a little robin somewhere.
Can I stop now?